Well, that was quick. It was just yesterday that we uploaded a video on changes to the Chase Sapphire Reserve that could cost the average cardholder $250 per year. But just like that, Chase seems to have cancelled these changes, at least for now. We'll tell you what we know. We also have US Bank adding transfer partners, which has been a long time coming, but certainly increases the value of their points. We'll tell you all about that too. Hey credit warriors, welcome to the show. My name is Ben Hedges, aka the Credit Shifu, and on this channel I cover US credit cards, personal finance, and luxury travel. If you like the sound of that, do subscribe, but let's get into it. And this video is brought to you by Silo, the brokerage where you earn credit card style points on your investments. They just launched a new entry-level plan and doubled the points earning caps, but more on that later. Okay, so yesterday we reported on a change that Chase was making to the $500 The Edit hotel collection credit on the Sapphire Reserve. Here is the text of that change. Get two $250 statement credits for prepaid bookings with a 2-night minimum. Back-to-back stays at the same property within 24 hours of checkout are considered a single stay, and only the first stay is eligible for the credit. So basically, this would prevent you using the 2 credits on one 4-night trip. You would have to make 2 genuinely separate bookings, so either switch hotel or do a 5-night trip with 1 paid night in the middle to give a 24-hour period before you use the credit again. But within just a few hours of uploading that video, people started commenting that they don't see that language on Chase's site anymore. So let's check out what happened. Did Chase actually backtrack on the change? Well, yes, this is what I see today on that same page. We just have get 2 $250 statement credits for prepaid bookings with a 2-night minimum, and then the second part about no back-to-back stays has been deleted. I think this is a good move, and it is actually a rare move too. Normally credit card companies just start stuff off super easy to use, and then they devalue, right, and make it harder to use so that they make more money. We've seen this with the Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts collection, where if someone books 2 separate bookings at the same hotel back-to-back, you used to be able to get a $100 property credit on each of the bookings, but now you can only get it once per stay, okay? Which means on one of those 2 bookings, because the 2 bookings back-to-back are considered 1 stay. They made that change because people were gaming the system to get an extra $100 in value. In addition, the Amex FHR credit is harder to use for a back-to-back stay than the Chase credit, since the Amex credit is $300 every 6 months, whereas the Chase credit is $250 twice a year, but you can use either of the 250s anytime. So I assumed that this was Chase's way of making it harder to use the 2 halves of the credit. Amex does it by giving you 1 credit every 6 months, and you either use it or lose it. Thus, you can only use it for a back-to-back stay if you do something like what I did on my recent trip to DC, where I stayed at the Conrad. I booked 1 night just before the credit reset at the end of June, and then I waited until July hoping, fingers crossed, hoping that the hotel didn't get fully booked, and I booked the next night after the credit reset. Luckily, there were still rooms available, so I was able to use the full $600 credit on 1 trip. So anyway, great to see Chase maintaining the ability to use the credit on a 4-night stay. To be honest, the Chase Hotel Collection credit is still quite a lot harder to use than Amex's FHR credit anyway, since it requires 2-night stay to trigger the $250 credit, whereas Amex FHR only requires 1 night. Although I point out, if you book the hotel collection, not the Fine Hotels and Resorts collection, but the hotel collection, you do have to stay 2 nights to trigger the credit. But have Chase permanently backtracked? Well, I don't know, since we saw this on a page that explains the benefits. It was never added to the terms and conditions of the card, that little thing that you click that says offer details on the landing page. It was never in there. So it could have been something that is going to happen, but they added it to the language of one of their pages too soon before it was actually added to the terms and conditions. So I wouldn't say that we are 100% safe yet. We will still have to wait and see. All right, let's now move on to US Bank adding transfer partners. But first, over the past year, you've probably heard me talking about Silo. Silo, 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 Silo. Well, there's a reason for that. It is the investing platform that enables you to earn points on your stocks. It's like what Built has done with earning points on rent, but for investing. This month, they launched 2 big updates that make the platform much more useful and accessible. The first is Blue Rewards, a new entry-level plan that costs just $95 per year. That's the same annual fee as a mid-tier credit card. It lets you earn half a point per dollar each year on up to a $50,000 portfolio. That works out to as many as 25,000 points per year, paid monthly. Silo have just launched their travel portal, where you can use Silo points to book travel at 1 cent per point with over 300 airlines and hotel chains. It's a really cool interface and makes searching and booking travel an absolute breeze. In my opinion, the booking experience is better than most big banks, not naming any names. America. This is all in addition to up to 500,000 points on your portfolio balance each year and an up to 250,000 point welcome bonus in the first year. So a total of potentially 750,000 points in your first year. That bonus is only available until Transfer Partners launch, which is any day now. So if you want to check out their new Blue plan and earn points on your portfolio that you can use for free travel, you can click my link in the description or go directly to silomarkets.com/Ben to get started today. All right, so US Bank has added 4 transfer partners, which really increase the value of its points. You have 3 airlines and 1 hotel chain. And this could hint at some new US Bank credit cards coming in the near future. I'll tell you why in just a moment. But first, what are the transfer partners? Well, you have Air France KLM, that's a pretty common one. Ethiopian Airlines, less common, and then Qantas Frequent Flyer. All those are 1-to-1 transfer partners. So 1 US Bank point equals 1 airline mile. That's a good ratio. That's what you want. But these airlines might seem like a little bit of a strange bunch. Okay, there is not one US airline in there. But it seems the reason they chose these 3 is to give you 1 airline from each major airline alliance. It doesn't matter if you're going to Ethiopia or not, because you can book other airlines with the miles. So Air France KLM is in SkyTeam, and if you're looking for an American airline in that alliance, it includes Delta. Ethiopian is in Star Alliance, which includes United, and Qantas is in One World, which includes American Airlines and also British Airways. So that gives you the option to potentially book any of the airlines in the 3 major alliances, including the 3 major US legacy carriers and other popular airlines like British Airways. Now, how good that's going to be in practice will require some research, since each airline has different policies, all right? Some open more award space to their own members and less to alliance partners. But at least this way, US Bank can say that they have transfer partners from all 3 major airline alliances. Then you have 1 hotel chain, and that is Accor. The transfer ratio to Accor is 2-to-1, but Accor points are actually worth quite a lot. The points guy values them at 2.3 cents per point in value. Accor doesn't have that much of a presence in the US, with only 100 or so properties in the whole of North America, but they do have a big presence in Europe and Asia, with over 5,100 properties in total. So this could be a really great partner for an international trip. But why did I say that US Bank bringing in partners hints that there may be a new credit card in the works? Let's have a look at that now. So right now, these transfer partners are only available on the US Bank Altitude Reserve card, which is no longer available to new card members. There is currently a landing page for the card explaining the benefits, but you cannot apply. There is no apply button. However, a lot of people still do have this card. People saw it as a really great card. It actually earns 3 points per dollar on mobile wallet spend, up to I think it's $5,000 in spending per month. So potentially you could get 3 points per dollar on a lot of your spending with this card. And there are some other bonus categories as well. They also even updated it in December 2025. So US Bank is still paying attention to it. So does this mean that it could get reopened for new applications? Well, I think that might be a possibility. Otherwise, what's the point of this update? Or could we see these partners being added to other US Bank credit cards that earn points, like the Altitude Connect, for example? That is actually a possibility as well. Or thirdly, could we see a new US Bank credit card being released that has all these transfer partners, with more being added in the future? We saw that exact thing happen with Capital One a few years ago. They didn't used to have transfer partners, then they added a few several years back, and then more and more, and now they have 22 partners, mostly at a 1-to-1 ratio, and then they've released new cards like the Venture X to take advantage of the interest in Capital One's travel rewards, and they've got their own lounges now as well. So hopefully US Bank will be going the same way. I mean, could we see that? They add transfer partners and then you get the US Bank lounge and stuff. I don't know whether that's really going to happen. You have to see whether they want to go into the sort of premium travel rewards space, or whether they're just going to continue doing what they're doing. And, you know, this transfer partners thing is just sort of a side project. I don't know, okay? But if they do go the full route and they add transfer partners and they add lounges and stuff, it would be great. It gives consumers more options and it creates some healthy competition in the credit card reward space, which forces other issuers to step it up and keep competing with each other to keep delivering great rewards to consumers. All right, guys, that is the video for today. And don't forget, if you want to check out their new Blue plan and earn points on your portfolio that you can use for free travel, use my link silomarkets.com/Ben to claim your last chance to get up to 250,000 bonus points. And they have transfer partners coming soon as well. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.